10 seconds to pick. 5 seconds. Hurry, Dyer's banned.
And welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of the playoff match between the Corndog and Team Welfare. Corndog picking up that first game victory against Welfare. I definitely thought Welfare had the better draft, but overall that they just couldn't do anything against that balling sniper.
I feel as though Corndog had a very punishable strategy, but their early game was played just so pristinely thanks to that Witch Doctor just making so much space that they got so far ahead, Team Welfare had no chance of catching up.
Dyer's ban.
And we see it in pubs as well as pro games. Deathballing sniper. There's not much to do against him. Even with these heroes. Axe going on the side of Corndog this time. But him on Welfare, even when he did get that blink, there was nothing to show for it. They couldn't jump in, they couldn't do anything against that sniper. And Sniper actually being banned out by Welfare, which, in my opinion, is pretty good ban. He played it pretty well, going 13-1 and 6. Farmed up really well in the early game on mid.
Yeah, and there's really not much you can do at that point. You can just see the frustration in the way the players are playing. You know, no one likes to play against a farmed sniper, and they will be banning it out first here. Going to be picking up the Earthshaker. Very interesting. I don't think we've seen this out of Team Welfare before. But
I don't believe so. Extra stuns. Ogre Magi and Earthshaker together. We saw Ogre being picked up on the side of their captain last series, and I mean, he played that well, stacking camps, doing whatever he could for that PA, just buffing her up, and, you know, they took him pretty handily against the side of tactical feeds last week.
And we will see the Axe Dazzle combo coming out for Corndog. That is something I've utilized in the past. It can be quite an unbeatable offlane. You know, you've got the Dazzle to slow down anyone he wants so that the Axe can catch up, get those calls off, and that can be a dead hero very quickly.
Timbersaw being coming up on the side of Welfare. New pick for them. I haven't seen that one. That'll be could be on one of the stand-ins on the side of Lake or Brooks. And I love seeing a good Timbersaw being played, just running around the jungle doing whatever he wants. Also, without a doubt, the best commentary in all of Dota.
Oh, absolutely. And Darkseer is also something that you don't see being picked up very often these days, especially not as a third pick. This leaves Team Welfare quite a bit of time to, say, grab a ranged carry that can farm very well against it. But with the 3 melee already on Team Welfare, you know, this could be very, very successful.
And even though it's a lot of melee coming out on the side of Welfare, I do like the extra stuns. They do have a lot of damage coming out from this Ogre, and if Earthshaker gets off a good ult, Axe will be looking to call him in, and I mean, it's going to be a toss-up between these team fights. Unlike last time, saw Sniper just kind of sit in the back, and mainly just Witch Doctor and Tide doing all the work up front. This time it'll be Darkseer looking to pull them all in, try and get all the wall of rep illusions going up. I still don't think that's going to be a ton of damage. We don't see any of the carries coming inside of Welfare yet, but just having Earthshaker, Ogre Magi, and Timbersaw, it's not going to do a ton when he gets that replica up.
This could also be a strategy where, you know, if you assume the Timbersaw is going in the off lane, you send the Darkseer solo safe lane to take away all measure of farm from the Timbersaw, and you run an aggressive tri-lane with the Axe, something that, you know, isn't unheard of.
That's true. Timbersaw would have a rough time against that Darkseer. But that being said, Timbersaw does have that reactive armor kind of just healing up. We do see the Medusa come out on the side of Welfare, so looking to go really late on the side of Welfare. I do like that pickup. A lot of mana draining on the side going for Dazzle and Darkseer, and I mean, they are going to look for a lot of this physical damage.
A lot of synergy with the Ogre Magi too. You get that Bloodlust on the Medusa, and she can put out quite a lot of DPS in a sustained team
Radiance
fight.
ban.
But it looks like Corndog will be responding with some very early aggression with the Undying, although if these are their 3 cores, Axe, Darkseer, and Undying, I'm not too sure. Is this a support Darkseer?
I still love that pickup. Undying, so tanky, and just a real huge piss-off. If they throw this against the Medusa, oh, she's going to be hurting pretty good. Medusa already a squishy hero, especially when she doesn't get that mana shield up real quick, and just go Decay and Tombstone. It hurts you so much for farm.
Although, I gotta say, they don't have a lot to deal with this Timbersaw right now. We're seeing a significant lack of lockdown on Team Corndog. They've got the Axe Calls, but apart from that, Timber might be able to just run around in team fights, getting chakras off and wreaking havoc, so to say.
Not a lot of stuns coming on the side of Corndog. You are right with that. Welfare looking like they have a really good draft going on, but said that last time and it was a complete flip.
I'm not sure.
Took that game. Do we see this Undying perhaps taking this game this time around?
I actually really do like the Corndog lineup so far. I'm not too sure about how I feel with the Darkseer supporting. I mean, I'm assuming he is supporting here unless they're doing a position 1 Axe. But
5 seconds.
ultimately,
Hurry,
I think they've got a lot of aggression, and they can do a lot to shut down this Medusa. The Medusa needing often half an hour, 40 minutes to really come online and be effective in team fights. They're going to be relying a lot on that Timbersaw.
Yeah, Timbersaw is going to have a pretty good lane here just so it start pushing out towers and being able to rotate around, get a quick arcane boots on. Tinker actually coming out on the side of Welfare. Going for a lot of push here on that mid hero pickup of Tinker. What do you think about this pick?
Well, I think that it's the exact same as the Timbersaw. You need lockdown if you want to deal with Tinker. I mean, if the Axe gets a blink and can blink on the Tinker, then sure, you've got a pretty decent chance of taking him out. But you just look at where the Axe is on the map and you teleport somewhere else. But the Spectre will be a very nice counter pick to that Tinker, and countering hard carry with hard carry, I suppose. I think this is an aggressive tri-lane.
Spectre probably picking up that Defusal and maybe going for the Skull Basher as well so they can lock down that Tinker. We'll be able to rotate around the map and should be a good matchup for Game 2. Starting off with the side of Team Welfare again, we have their captain, Mr. Steal Your Girl, and his Geodota on the Ogre Magi once again. We have Mr. Sinister actually running the Farming Medusa this time. We've got Lakay, the stand-in, running there on the Earthshaker, Brooks on the Tinker, and we have Caesar running the Timbersaw.
And over the side of Team Corndog, we have Moist running that Dazzle. Danton with the Farming Spectre, who may be going mid here, I'm not too sure, or could just be going for the rune. Mind Game on the Darkseer. We will have Bungus the Fungus playing that Undying. And I'm missing someone, I just know it. Daft Volta on the Axe. Looks like he's going to be going toward that offlane there. So we will be seeing a support Darkseer, or possibly a jungling Darkseer. That is something that I've seen in the past with great success.
Jungling Darkseer. It's been a while since I saw one of those games. He just doesn't get picked up as much anymore.
Absolutely not. And it doesn't make sense. He's such a great hero. He has a lot of control in team fights, and especially against these physical damage lineups that we've been seeing come out lately. I'm surprised we don't see more walls of replica being thrown down.
And it will be pretty confusing for the Spectre, although having that Earthshaker on the side, he does get that blink. That is going to be a huge Echo Slam full of damage.
Absolutely. And that does trigger on illusions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes him so darn good against the PL.
Death.
They're going to have to shut down this Earthshaker real quick, and looks like Spectre picking up that early on bottom, and Axe and Undying just going for the dive on bottom here against this Medusa and Earthshaker.
No, this could be a waste of time.
They're just going to have to crawl back.
Yeah, absolutely. And they could get sandwiched here. Although, the lane cutting, I forgot, that is going to be what's happening. It looks like the Undying is actually going to be supporting the Axe. We've got a mid-Spectre up against that Tinker. That cannot end well. And we've got the Darkseer against that Timbersaw, and I really do give the lane to the Darkseer there.
So we see the matchup on the Darkseer Timber. We called that one out, but these are some confusing lanes. Sending Spectre mid against a Tinker. Sending Spectre mid alone. She's going to get destroyed. What is she gonna
Looks like we might see the first blood
up?
coming out on this Medusa as everything is committed. We've got the Tombstone, and she will drop to the Undying. Return kill, not even a possibility here.
This Ogre getting a couple stacks on this. He should be okay to escape out. But like you said, quick first blood on the side of Corndog, under a minute here. And Axe going to just continue to keep cutting that lane. It's going to be a huge piss off for this Earthshaker and Ogre Magi. Not going to be able to get too much. They will get that little bit of extra XP against these creeps, but Medusa is going to have one hell of a time on bottom trying to farm up anything.
And it does look like the Darkseer isn't doing as well as he had hoped against this Timbersaw, already picking up 5 last hits to the Darkseer's 0. Haven't seen a single Ion shell out yet.
Don't order axe around.
Timbersaw actually getting 2 Unmorling Death to start. Usually most people go with the Timber Chain. I kind of like this, especially against this Darkseer. He's going to be able to run in, get a couple last hits, run out, do what Timbersaw does.
But Medusa really needs to find herself on the other side of this cutting right now. She is level 1 at 0 experience and not going to be able to get any anytime soon. Looks like the Ogre and the Earthshaker are taking this.
Looks like she's picking up the TP. She is going top. It's probably the best decision to make early on, and she has absolutely nothing going on for her.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure if the Timbersaw has to rotate bottom. We're going to see 3 melee heroes in a tri-lane against an Axe. Not the situation you want on your hands.
Timbersaw goes bottom. If Timbersaw goes bottom, he's going to have to fill up that reactive armor, which is not what you want to do on an early game for Timbersaw. You don't want him to just sit around and be tanky. You want him kind of diving with that Timber Chain, running in with the Whirling Death, doing whatever damage you can, just to be a real complete piss-off until you get that Bloodstone.
And this Spectre mid
He does go bottom.
could be falling to this Tinker if he gets close enough. We don't see boots on either, and Spectre will barely escape with his life.
Cooldowns on Tinker, they're just a little too long to start off with, and Spectre narrowly escaping. She's just sitting for this XP, but once again, you're playing a little aggressive there, Spectre. You might want to just pull back.
There will be a dive on bottom, and Undying will get the kill off on Earthshaker. Axe getting very low, but with that Dazzle to back him up, I just don't think they have the burst to take him down.
Ogre having no mana left, he can't get any stun off, and Tinker actually does take that Spectre. Like I said, Spectre, you gotta stay back. You can't be chilling there with that Tinker on mid, sitting at, what was he, under 100 health? That's
And running
gonna be horrible on the Spectre.
Running the Spectre mid in the first place, even though he did have a poor man's shield at level 1, just not the greatest idea.
No, especially not against this Tinker, and they should have seen that coming. What is poor man's shield going to do against Tinker? He's just going to throw out the laser, he's going to throw out the heat-seeking missiles. Nothing you're going to be able to do against him.
The only unfortunate part about running this tri-lane bottom is that we're not seeing a lot of levels coming out on this Axe, only sitting at level 3. Undying just barely getting his level 3. We already have the Medusa out-leveling him.
And that is exactly what they needed to do. Ooh,
Almost a courier
getting
kill.
sniped. Touch courier. You still have to stay in the trees there, little guy. Yeah, rotate down to the bottom. You'll be fine. Axe still cutting wave here, and I mean, you did say they both are level 3, looking close to level 4 here, but I still think they're doing exactly what they need to do. Just keep cutting, just piss off this whole tri-lane on the bottom. Medusa will be getting a little bit of farm, but she is getting really aggressively dove against this Darkseer, and she's not going to have an easy time up top either.
No, she needs the 3rd level in that Mystic Snake to keep her mana up. We are going to see an Invis picked up by the Spectre, although I don't think Spectre's going to be able to do much with it. Oh, he might try and babysit it until his bottle
She's not
comes.
going to be able to do anything.
Oh, she
And
will
that's
pick it
not
up.
something you usually see picked up on a Spectre.
A
I
bottle.
mean, yeah, you want bottle coming out on mid, but I mean, that's just more gold that's just taken away from the Spectre, and she's going to hit level 6 here and be able to do nothing. They were probably counting on this pick to go against this Tinker, but Tinker's sitting way comfortable ahead, 15-1. I mean, Spectre does still have Fortune O. She's doing okay.
We are going to see the Tombstone being dropped under the tower bottom. A little bit of aggression. We see Slow coming out on the Timbersaw, but looks like he may be able to get away from this Axe.
Zombies are coming out hard. This Ogre being able to stun this Axe, but he still goes down. Return kill might come out on this Dazzle, taking a lot of tower hits. He does go down. Axe getting off the call on this Timbersaw, and he also goes down. 2-for-1 trade on the side of Corndog. Just a lonely support on that Dazzle taken for that Ogre Magi as well as the Timbersaw.
That's another 600 gold swing in favor of Team Corndog, but again the Spectre going to drop. This is their late game. They are absolutely mortgaging it to get this bottom lane secured.
Is being attacked.
What are your thoughts on this, Sub-Zero?
This Spectre mid just shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. It shouldn't be happening now. Welfare doing the smart decision, rotating the Medusa top. She's getting a little bit of farm. Even against, it's going to be hard against that Darkseer, but she's going to get more than what she had on bottom. They need to send the Spectre elsewhere. I mean, they could almost send Spectre just to farm against this Medusa and them just right-click back and forth. Medusa would probably still win that lane, but I mean, Spectre would get a hell of a lot more than against this Tinker right now, just falling down too quickly and having a rough time against this Tinker, just taking heat-seeking missiles to the face.
Yeah, definitely doing the right thing by going the 4-4-0 build. You need to keep up the early aggression. It looks like he's going to have his boots of travel pretty quickly, too. Oh, we're going to see
making the
Overmatch
right decision here, just TPing bottom real quick. Smart decision. He was going to get trapped there by this Dazzle as well as the Axe coming in. You know, quick smart play by the captain there.
And we've got 4 rotating down bottom for Team Corndog. It looks like they may be looking to dive this tower and secure a couple more kills with that Undying Tombstone. Definitely a possibility. And here they go.
Good engagement. It would be great for Spectre to get some kills out of this. Spectre starting out early, going straight for the Timber Saw.
We need
Tombstone
to see a
does
Fisher
come out. Ogre gets off a quick stun. Spectre does blow that ult. They're going for as much damage as possible. They do take down the Timber, and now they are starting to dive against this Ogre Magi. Dazzle doing what he can to try and block him, slows him down with the quick poison touch. I think they'll be able to get this Ogre. If they get a quick call here, this might be a dunk. Chasing as far as possible, just trying to get whatever, and the dunk does come out on the side of Corndog. That will be a 2-for-1 on the side of Corndog. And now it looks like they are going to take this T1 on bottom.
Middle tower is being attacked.
And high time to 7 minutes with a tri-lane Axe. But, on the other hand, we do have Tinker closing in on those boots of travel just about 100 gold away. Now, this is also something that you don't want happening by the 8-minute mark.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Getting that quick boots of travel in this Tinker is going to be huge on the side of Welfare. It's going to be hard to shut him down, especially with the Spectre still not having that much of an impact. She just picks up boots of speed finally. Tinker's going to be able to go around the map and pick whatever she needs to, or whatever he needs to, sorry. They do pick up that T1 on bottom, a little bit of extra gold on the side of Corndog. And they're just going to send the Australian back on bottom, and I mean, where else are they going to go, really? They want this Medusa to get as much farm as possible. She does finally pick up the Ring of Aquila. Really close to the power treads as well. Axe does blink on her. Double Mystic Snake coming out, and this could be another dunk coming out from Axe, and she does go down. Killing spree on the side of Axe, and they're going to look to push this T1 as well.
Just doing a ton of work to make sure this Medusa does not get anything this game. We are going to see an invisibility on the Tinker, but will this Tinker be enough? He can't really do much until he gets some levels in March of the Machines. That's the price he pays for going aggressive against the Spectre. But looks like he may be able to pick something up on this Axe. No, he's going to run past. He wants the Darkseer.
Radiant's top tower
And he will get it.
Yeah, that's dead Darkseer. Tinker's just going to be able to blow him up real quick. And I mean, they're going to have to get a pipe on the side of this Darkseer Undying rather quick. This Tinker is starting to take off. Near level 10, does finally pick up the Boots of Travel, and it looks like he's going to be going for Dagon here real quick. Does pick up that Soul Ring. Should be a Dagon coming out soon, though.
I would imagine that would be a good
Going
choice.
on the Spectre on mid, this is going to be a double stun.
Oh, the beautiful Fissure block, but then
Axe
the
does come in,
Axe.
one dunk down, going after this Tinker. Earthshaker falling as well. That's a 2-for-0. Axe, full blink dagger timing, comes out and just destroys that whole team. And this is what they needed out of that Axe. It's a huge counter pick toward this quick melee stun team. They do key on that Spectre, but didn't think about the Axe coming in, rotating from the jungle.
Spectre just eating
just
these
blown
missiles.
up from this Tinker. Axe missing that call. Tinker out of mana. He's gonna have to be sent back to Fountain here. And they just look to go otherwise, and you know, Medusa going back top, she's looking for more of that farm. She's not sitting on that great, she's sitting on a lonely 26 and 5 CS. Axe actually leading the board at 40 and 0. I mean, he's had lots of time to do whatever he wants. Tinker closely behind him, though, and that's what you're going to have to start seeing. Is Tinker just rotating around the map, throwing down March of the Machines, and doing what Tinker does, just being a bitch, and, you know, picking up whatever he does, going to another one.
Yeah, for the second game in a row now, we see the farming carry from Team Welfare just behind the supports of Team Corndog. This Medusa sitting on a measly 2,400 net worth. Got an Aquila and some brown boots. That's about it.
And I mean, we love seeing this Medusa being picked up because you know they want to run a late game, but if you don't make it to the late game, Medusa's not got a lot. I mean, Mystic Snake's about her only thing. She just pretty much just stands there and takes all the hit with that mana shield. So they're going to have to get some quick farm on her real quick. She still can't really teamfight that well. Her Stone Gaze do too much, just a little extra 30% physical damage, but she has no items to go along with that.
No, and we do see that
Darkseer rotating bottom.
being able to push the tier 2 fairly early, but the Tinker is just going to be able to respond so quickly to these things. This is the kind of thing that is going to get the Tinker the farm he needs.
We actually see Axe running in, and he's going to look for this quick blink. If he does get this Medusa and Ogre, that's going to be a huge engagement for them, and it looks like he will be able to get one call on Medusa. The rest are coming in. We do see a stun go off on Axe. Medusa blowing the ult, and just running around this Axe. He does get stone gazed. Not much for the engagement, but they will be able to push this T1, as Medusa's going to have to be forced back here, at least posture around the T2 mid.
And the Spectre ult coming out as well.
Tombstone being thrown up. This is... Oh, Axe does blink in. He's going after the Medusa. That will be a dunk. No, easy kill. They're just going to chase these two down.
And the Axe may end up going down here.
Vacuum there on that Tinker.
Going down the way of the Tinker's lasers.
Spectre sitting really low after getting that last hit. Actually, no, she missed that last hit. Tinker's starting to chase her. They are both really low. They need to get back stat.
Yeah, Tinker needs to get a blink before he can catch up.
Didn't cost them too much. Medusa going down is huge on the side of welfare, but they do pick up that Axe and force everybody back. It's just a T1 that goes down. Tinker will be able to, push his own thing. He's going down rather quick against that Darkseer Iron Shell. He's going to have to be forced back all the way back to base.
With that farm coming out. Haystream sitting on the bottom being scouted out by both wards.
Not being de-warded.
A little bit of a ward war.
Pretty bad. Repping the beautiful Timberthop set.
We do see the Tinker catching up to the Axe in net worth too, and what are they going for next? This is going to be hopefully an early blink. I think that's what they really need. We'll see them going on the Axe mid. Oh,
Axe,
very well
call.
played call.
Getting lasered. Tombstone does go down on the side of this and dying. Timber's just going to be forced back. There's going to be no engagement after this. Just going to be pushed back, probably take down this Tombstone, but they are taking a lot of damage on this T1 tower top. And Tinker's just going to start throwing out missiles. We got Earthshaker chilling on the side of the trees here. Undying's got to be careful. He's going to be forced back. He does get the stun off, looking really low.
A Dazzle there to back him up.
I don't think they're going to be able to chase us.
We do see Spectre pushing in bottom lane, getting some uncontested farm right now.
That's what she needs. What do you think she's going to build for this time? I did say she's probably going to go for the Diffusal Skull Basher here just to kind of counter this Tinker, but what do you think? She's sitting on 1,200 gold and she's not looking at much.
Definitely the Diffusal first.
That Spectre on that Radiance.
She needs the Diffusal against the Tinker. Needs the Diffusal against the Medusa.
Huge engagement top. That's a dunk on Earthshaker. Unstoppable coming out on the side of Undying. Undying blowing his all, just being narrowly saved by that Grave on the Dazzle. They're going to get out unscathed. Tinker throwing off heat-seeking missiles. This could be a kill. Oh, narrowly escaping on that Undying. Less than 100 HP and he still gets away. Dazzle doing a ton of work.
Axe sitting in the trees, just waiting for that blink. They might be looking to re-engage this.
I think they should. Undying is looking rather low, but he's going to get really quickly healed by this Dazzle. Mana Boot's coming out. Ion Shield on that Axe if he calls. That is huge of output damage against this Medusa. She's not even going to attempt to get. Axe does jump on her. They do get her locked down. Tombstone coming out as well. Tinker rotating in. He throws off everything he can. These zombies are everywhere, though. This Medusa is going to go down. That's going to be one kill on the side of Dazzle actually picking up Medusa on that poison touch. Everybody being forced back.
Spectre coming in on the
being taken down from this dive.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
And again, we are just seeing
overall
seeing Corndog control this game.
3-0. Both are getting destroyed from this Axe. Huge pickup on the side of Corndog. And he's running exactly like he needs to.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Actually going for the Agnum Scepter, picking up the point booster on this Axe. Don't see that too often, but it's always fun watching this Axe just go on a dunking streak.
Absolutely, and why not? If you can get it this early in the game when everyone's max health is so low, it is just an unbeatable item.
And Dazzle actually picking up that mech here rather quick. This will be under 20 mech, and it's going to be pretty hard and unstoppable against this Corndog lineup. Welfare is not having enough burst damage. It's just this Tinker that's really doing all the damage. If they get off a good ult out of this Earthshaker, they can come back with a good team fight, but Axe just doing too much work, just being able to absorb all the damage. Spectre finally coming back in with her ult and picking up what else she needs to. She's sitting on 2,600 gold. Is she going for this Radiance?
She might be, in fact. I mean, I suppose if you can get it before the 20-minute mark, it's just amazing, but I would have figured that the Diffusal would have been a better choice right away, just for all the utility it offers against the Tinker, against the Medusa, the chasing in general.
I thought so as well, but, I mean, if she does pick up this Radiance, that will be hard for this Earthshaker, as well as the Tinker to get Blink and be able to jump in. She can just ult and kind of, control the team fight, not being able to blink in on this support as well as Tinker.
Going to be closing in on the Tinker here. Can he get out in time? He's going to make it.
Would be fine. Does finally finish that Null Talisman, so that Dagon, once that comes out, it's going to be pretty hard for this Dazzler to kind of heal up everybody and stay alive for the full time.
I'm not sure.
He's getting quite a bit of farm.
I think this might be a Blink Dagger yet.
Blink Dagger coming out of Tinker? Yeah, that is true. Ward actually going up on the side of Dazzler. He's trying to look for a little bit more vision in this jungle so they can't farm up too quick. Tinker is looking for these double stacks here on this Merchant Machine, so he's trying to get out as much farm as quick as possible. Ooh, unfortunately, this team up goal is inside of that smash.
Ever since that change, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I feel like Tinker's kind of fallen off is what he used to be. He's not as... Without being able to farm Ancients and just not being able to do as much output damage, it's kind of hard for him to actually get the farm he needs. Still a good hero though. He did him uncontested. He can't be a bitch. Tombstone going up here. Timbersaw going on Axe of all people. Actually getting stunned on 2 here. Earthshaker looking to run in, get off a good ult. You see Medusa ult coming out. Earthshaker does get off the big slam, and they're just starting to right click down. This is a huge engagement for on the side of Welfare. Actually taking 3 for 1.
Just incredible
Good
the turns
cleanup.
you see. The 3,200 gold swing.
Medusa getting off a beautiful ult, as well as Earthshaker just being able to charge in. That stun on Axe was huge. Even though they did pick up the Timbersaw, it kept him alive for a little bit longer, and Earthshaker just kind of did a little tumble right down the stairs there and threw off that huge Echo Slam. Huge turn on the side of Welfare. 16-8 still rather early in the game, still under 20 minutes.
We see some frustration scribbles coming out from the Undying. Now this could be what this Earthshaker needs. He's getting very close to that Blink Dagger, getting about 800 gold alone from that team fight. And that might be the turning point. That is when they can initiate on fights just so much better.
I think Spectre's going for this Radiance, just popping that Bounty Rune. He's sitting at 3,600 gold. I think this is a Sacred Relic coming out.
The sub 20-minute relic.
Alright, Tinker is actually picking up that Blink Dagger after that engagement, so he'll be able to run around the map a little bit more comfortably. Undying picking up 2 smokes. They want to get this done real quick. They want this Axe to start snowballing again.
Yeah, he is hitting the point where if he doesn't finish that Axe in the next couple minutes, he is going to start to level off a bit. Just that one, with the new catch-up mechanics, just that one bad team fight is enough to really see the XP swing. Seeing almost 3,000 experience go the way of Team Welfare in that last fight.
Down about half their kills. Like you said, big swing, and they'll be able to come back with this Medusa as well as Tinker. They'll be able to push the map and kind of let this Medusa do what she wants. She's pretty close. She does pick up this Yasha. What's she building? Manta first, eh? I mean, she doesn't need Blinkens. There's nothing really that's going to block against. She's not going for that Scotty. She doesn't want to tank up quite yet. The illusions are not a bad idea. Kind of get everything out, and Earthshaker being able to do a ton of stun damage, and Medusa blowing that ult again. It worked well from the last engagement. Manta's a pretty good pickup, I say, on that Medusa.
Yeah, and she is catching up in experience too, just about 2 levels behind the top on the Corndog team. Spectre and the Darkseer both sitting at 12.
Ancients are actually being stacked here. This will be huge as well.
And this Tinker is just on top of the net worth board, on top of the kills chart. He might just be enough.
Spectre looking pretty good, 91-1. Does come out with Sacred Relic. She's really close to this Radiance. You know what? Surprising. After that whole mid fiasco with that Spectre against that Tinker, I think she died 2 or 3 times. It's a pretty quick Radiance after that.
Yep, and that will be preventing the Blink Daggers from both the Earthshaker and the Tinker, so actually quite a smart pickup for the Spectre. This Timber a little bit too far forward. He will get back, though.
Bunch of smokes being picked up on both sides here. Hoping to see some engagements. I mean, they're starting to get a bunch of items. Axe finally does pick up that Aghanim Scepter off that courier there. Darkseer looking pretty good. Does pick up that pipe. We do see the smoke come out on 3 on the top. They're looking to push on this, and we got Undying actually had on that Invis rune sitting on bottom. They do want to grab this Timber Saw and turn this into a tower.
And I don't think they'll have too difficult of a time, but the posturing taking a little bit too long. We do see the smoke starting to run its course. They're going to be rotating around, and they will catch him out here.
Coming down the stairs here.
But the Medusa sneaking up from the side, I think unseen by Team Corndog.
Smoke revealed after that dazzle. What are you doing, buddy?
An Axe is going to blink in,
Can't
and
go
they're just
after
going
this
to move
Medusa.
in.
Axe blinking in. Blowing off that ult. That's only going to be completely on that Axe, though. Timbersaw not rotating in quite yet. Dazzle back.
And the
Ogre
Medusa
just kind of posturing, making sure this Medusa can survive.
Medusa choosing not to Town Portal as soon as she ults. I think that would have been the best decision there. And the rest of Team Welfare is not going to be able to close in fast enough.
It's going to be a death. That's a dunk. Orgonite going down here in the trees. She exactly, Flo. She should have tossed that TP going back to base as soon as that ult went off on that Axe, but she neglects to use it and ends up trading her life for. Although Spectre does go down, but they can't miss into a T2 on bottom. They're going to push this up as much as possible. Tinker does pick up that first Dagon here.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
That may just be what they need to start getting a little bit ahead on this Team Corndog. Just so much on this Axe. We see an Aghanim Scepter already and 1,200 gold in the bank. He could be going for a Blade Mill next.
That's probably a smart pickup. They have a lot of damage coming on the side of Welfare, and any return damage is going to be pretty hard to go up against, especially if this Undying just starts decaying, tosses up that Tombstone, they'll just be able to chase him down. Spectre actually real close to this Radiance now, so a lot of output damage coming out on the side of Corndog.
We do see the Blink picked up on the Earthshaker. This is going to help them immensely with their initiation if the Spectre Radiance doesn't cancel it first.
Tinker's been pretty comfortable here, like I said, picks up that Dagon 1, and he's just gonna, look to farm up with March of the Machines, and Ogre doing not so bad himself. He's just kind of hanging about, sitting 0-4-4. He's not done a ton this game, but I mean he's got off the stuns when he needs to. It's really this Earthshaker that I think they're counting on with this Blink Dagger coming out.
Absolutely. And what is the next step for Team Welfare? Do they just have to sit back, turtle their high ground, and wait for their Tinker to get enough farm to dominate the game?
I believe so. I think Tinker's just going to have to rotate the map, do what he wants. Get a couple more levels on this Dagon. He's actually posturing on that Darkseer. Now he's just going to piss him off, throw out a couple mills here. But like I said, yeah, he's just going to look for the farm, and they actually do go on this Darkseer.
Ogre going a little bit too far forward.
Get a stun off, though. Radiance does come out on the Spectre, 23 minutes in. Blade Mill also coming in on that Axe. These are huge items. You know what? Even though they do pick up that Spectre, this is sort of a snowbally lineup coming out of Axe. And I know I use that word a lot, but it is pretty tough in this patch to go against a team, especially with an Axe, Undying. I like this Darkseer pickup. It is actually really helping him along with his Axe. He's able to just jump in and kind of team wipe the whole team. Although Welfare did do well in that last engagement, these pickups for these damage items on Corndog are going to be hard to go up against on the side of Team Welfare.
I agree with the Darkseer pickup. You see, if you put a max level Ion Shell on the Axe, he gets in, he gets his call off, that's over 300 extra damage that you're doing, just straight up. It's like another AoE nuke.
Pretty much. I mean, they don't have a ton of AoE. Earthshaker are doing most of the AoE in this whole team. They actually have a huge engagement. Tombstone going up, the wall does go up, stuns coming out. Darkseer narrowly making outside with the Shallow Grave. Undying doing what he can. Earthshaker actually getting dunked on this Axe. They're doing everything to this Timbersaw going down. That's a 4-0 against the side of Team Welfare, and they're going to look up to pick a couple towers. Huge swing in gold, and they actually retain this lead, and they're up 12k on net worth.
Yeah, it looks like a repeat of last game. Just heartbreaking for Team Welfare to see Corndog be able to snowball out of control. The Spectre now getting to the point where he's going to be unstoppable soon as well.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
And a quick pickup on this T2. There's a lot they can do. Spectre's looking pretty good here. She's actually picking up that Yasha now. She's sitting on another 1,200 gold on top of it, and she's getting pretty good farm out of her own. She's sitting at 130-1, and we got top 3 all on the side of Corndog leading last hits here. Tinker's sitting a little bit behind. He needs to get out his items real quick. Otherwise, this could be another loss and potentially the whole series for Welfare.
How do you salvage this situation as Team Welfare?
they have to sit back. I mean, last game they didn't have as much comfortable
Radiant's middle tower is being
get out in the first part of the mid game in the last match. They kind of sit back and they couldn't farm the PA. They couldn't do anything. Medusa does have a little bit. At least she does have this Yasha coming out. They do have the blink already on their Shaker. It's not like Axe of last game when he got that blink way far late and they couldn't do anything. So, I mean, they do have a lot more tank ability on the side of Welfare this time. They can handle the damage coming out. So I believe they just really need to turtle or get a good smoke play off and get a little bit more vision. Right now they are being covered all over the map. They got their jungle warded inside and outside. They got the top map warded out completely. There's nowhere for them to freely farm without Corndog being able to contest them.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I think that the one thing they do have going for them here is that Welfare has a much better high ground defense lineup than they did before. You've got the Tinker with his March of the Machines, you've got Earthshaker with the Fissure and being able to blink in, and Timbersaw, one of the best high ground defenders in the game.
Oof, Earthshaker, nice blink coming out just before that poison touch damage does get out freely. That was almost going to be a dead Earthshaker, and actually D-Ward's going out here. Dazzle picking up that mech as well. They're doing quite well.
Axe posturing, looking for this blink on the Medusa.
Axe to jump in here. Axe being surged up, also with the Ion Shell. He's looking for the jump here. Welfare got 4 rotating around mid here. They're all 5. This Earthshaker staying way back though. It's exactly what it needs to do. Echo Slam finally does come off the cooldown, so if he just chills in the back and waits for that good jump, this could be a huge turn on the side of Welfare. Axe jumping in, whiffs on the call, blows off his blade mode, getting destroyed though. Spectre coming in with everything. Medusa does Welfare ult. That does go down Axe as well as the Ogre Magi. Medusa narrowly escaping with her life. Are these zombies going to be able to kill her?
They are. Earthshaker tries in vain.
Medusa narrowly escaping with 20 health left. And all just a 1-for-1. Tinker actually coming back in on the Spectre. What are you doing, buddy? They're all there. Earthshaker coming back in with the slam. Does get a pick up on the kill, but that is 2 also going down on the side of Welfare. They do get that Spectre down, which is a huge kill. But all in all, that Tinker does go down, and they can't respond on this push. They still have all their outer tier towers on the side of Corndog, and it's going to be another T2, and that's it for Welfare. They're going to have to be stuck inside the base now, and
that's
narrowly escaping with their life. But
and that's a dieback on the Tinker, too. That's a lot of gold out the window.
And they're just bullying this Medusa. They're pretty tanky as well. I mean, Welfare does have a huge tanky team, but looking at Axe and Undying, Spectre's getting up there as well. Dazzle being able to save anybody, and Darkseer alone sitting on. He's got Pipe. He's got 9 armor sitting there. Ion Shell. He's sitting pretty comfortable as well. They can just kind of piss off this Medusa, and you know what? It's going to be a lot of posturing, I feel, around for these T3s and getting a Rax. It's going to be hard to engage on both sides of the fight here, so it'll be interesting to see. I think on the side of Corndog, they're just going to have to kind of take all their jungle, which Dazzle is actually doing here quite well. He's picking up that DD, turning into a carry Dazzle, taking out this lowly Ursa. And they just go back to farm. We got Axe on top, farming away, Spectre farming some more, actually picking up the Yasha. She does pick up the ultimate orb. This will be a Manta-style Spectre.
Yeah, the one thing that I don't think that
more for this Earthshaker.
Yeah, Welfare's not going to be able to do much against the split push, though. I mean, with that Radiance, you get those Manta-style illusions just pushing a different lane. Do quite a bit of damage on those tier 3s.
Although, if Spectre's ult doesn't go off, and then goes off cooldown here, Earthshaker will be jumping in if he's still alive, and that's going to be huge extra damage off that Echo Slam. I mean, they're kind of building right into him. They're doing really good against these engagements, but I mean, Darkseer throwing up those illusions, and now Spectre. I don't know if Manta's the right pickup. I really think she should have picked up that Diffuser and taken all mana from this team. Earthshaker without mana, as well as Medusa without mana, can't survive. Tinker without mana, won't be able to run around the map. I think Diffuser would have been a better pickup, although Spectre is still leading the board, and she's doing quite well. She's only sitting at 4-4 and 13, but I mean, she's had pretty good free farm throughout the mid game until now.
We will be seeing a smoke on the Dire coming out. They may be trying to close in on this Tinker, but no. Going to reveal himself, Danton. Going to allow that Tinker to just teleport away. So they're sitting, posturing mid, hoping to catch somebody out of position. This Medusa going a little bit too far forward with nobody showing.
Smoke actually expiring. They won't be able to go on anybody here on the jungle.
Smoke be damned. I think they're going to try and pick up some kills regardless here.
Darkseeker looking really farmed as well.
Tinker playing it
second.
really loose.
Last hits here. Spectre finally picking up that Manta style. Darkseer really close. Actually does pick up this pig stick coming out soon on this ultimate orb. It's going to be a huge grab, especially against this Tinker and Medusa. They're not going to be able to survive against that.
Nope, absolutely not. That's the one person that they have to control right now, the Tinker, and we were saying that the one thing they don't have for the Tinker is the lockdown. This pig stick is going to solve all those problems.
It looks like they're starting to get ready to go down mid here. Spectre's still sitting on bottom, but he does have that ult. He's going to push back this Tinker. Running out of mana here. He's going to have to go back to base. And Spectre's going to be fine. He's going to wait for that engagement on mid, pop off his ult. And once again, I think Corndog's going to be able to take a quick team fight if everything goes well. Earthshaker hoping to sit in the back and get off a good Echo Slam, but the Spectre illusion's going to be one big pistol to be able to blink in.
Zach's just posturing on the high ground there, but obviously sees now that they do have vision up there. He will be scouted out. Blade Mail's coming out on several of the heroes from Team Corndog.
And if they can grab all Blade Mills, all that damage reflected from that Echo Slam, there could be a lot of damage coming out of Welfare unless they get the perfect Medusa ult, but even still, she doesn't have a ton of items up. She finally does finish that Manta style, but no real damage items coming out.
No, and it looks like the Spectre will be split pushing this bottom lane. Possibly going to leave his Manta Illusions to keep pushing, or he might keep going himself, running right into a smoke gang.
They are
from
smoking
Team
up
Welfare.
right into the Spectre. If they get off a good stun, this could be a dead Spectre. She's going down real quick. She's going to try and jump out, blown up by the Tinker on Dag in there, and that's a huge pickup against this Spectre.
Yeah, that is a good... Wow, that is a 2.5k gold swing right there. I think they're just going to sit back and throw his missiles out there.
Tombstone actually being blown up. I think they're just able to sit back and throw out that Timber, and I mean, they're doing pretty good per range. Tinker just being able to blow up whoever they want. Axe actually blinking in, getting the call off on 2. Medusa popping her ult early. Axe goes for the dunk, misses on over Magi, turns on the stun. Echo Slam coming out. Spectre still down, get off on 3. Earthshaker's still going to be able to go down, but Undying does fall, as well as this Darkseer. Timbersaw getting out narrowly with his life, and that's only a 2 for 5. Well done by Team Welfare, and that's exactly what they needed to do. Just kind of sit back, wait for the engagement. Having the Spectre down, Corndog should not have jumped in at all there, and they try to take this tower and a couple more kills and actually trade all of their lives for it. Well done by Welfare.
Absolutely, we're seeing a 4k gold swing here, and just as we were saying, you know, they have incredible high ground defense with that Tinker March of the Machines just double stacked on the entire team doing absolute work. They went in with the Spectre being down and the Tombstone already being blown. I really don't think it was a good call.
Spectre jumping down on bottom, trying to get that kill on Timber, and he blows himself up, picking up that Bloodstone, and he's going to be out for a couple quick seconds and right back up. Good deny by himself there, and Spectre just looking to push back. Tinker really needs to start pushing these towers hard, though. I mean, it's hard for them. They're going to have to sit back and defend, but at the same time, they need to pick up these towers. They have no gold going the way of this Medusa. They did let her survive in the last engagement. She does pick up another ultimate orb, but
and she did
really
get the last
hit. Spectre, she's going to fall 1v1.
She did get the last hit off on that Axe too, you know, picking up quite a bit of gold and securing that ultimate orb, so I think she's going to be building into a Scotty here if she can make it that far.
And that's probably the best key pick for her, a little bit of tankability and getting those slows out against these tanky heroes so they can chase after them if they ever do get them low. Spectre doing a ton of work here though, pushing out every possible, a huge response to this Tinker. Sending in those Mantle Illusions and also throwing out a casual dagger and pissing off this Medusa. And
we're starting to see this Ogre Magi picking up points in the Bloodlust, and I think that's really going to help him out in the team fight, but do you think that Medusa is really the best carry to have in this kind of lineup? I mean, she does all physical damage, she's with all magic.
Axe jumping in on 2, getting the Blade Mill off, Medusa all going off, tons of stuns, we see the wall come out, Axe stuck mid-jump there, Medusa narrowly escaping this life. Oh, and she does fall down to this Undying, blowing off the Decay. Only a 1 trade on that Medusa, but that is a huge trade. Wall being pushed out, and this could be a T3 falling out. Although Tinker is posturing around, throwing down the March of the Machines with this laser still, will be a huge piss-off. Tons of the Blade Mills coming out on the side of Corndog, though. He will be able to force back this Tinker. Undying just eating all of the damage here. Pigstick does come out on Caesar on the Timbersaw. Huge Echo Slam on 4. Turns on all of them. Gets 2. Axe turning on the huge engagement. Axe does get the dunk.
Oh, Tinker just coming in to clean
with the laser beam. My goodness.
Just the unbreakable high ground.
3-for-3 trade on that. And they just can't go up against this Tinker. Finally picking up Dagon 4 right away here. He's about ready to hit this 1250. And it's hard to go up against this Tinker. Spectre's still falling even with all that damage going down, and Undying just eating so much in the face here on this. T3 still not going down.
Brooks may be able to get this T1 bottom. If they start the tower gold, you know, this might go very well for Team Welfare.
Coming in on the courier, nothing. Going back to Secret Shop here. Timbersaw doesn't have a ton. He's starting to tank up a little bit. Doesn't have the bloodstone. Oh, Axe being able to jump in and dunk on that courier. Goodbye. See you for 3 minutes. That's going to be harsh on the side of Welfare. Not going to be able to pick up many items without kind of jumping out, and a little scary for this Medusa to go out against his Axe.
You know, to be honest, I didn't even know that was an option.
Jumped on, tosses out the blade mail, surged by this Darkseer, running away as quick as possible. Wall actually does come out from this Darkseer. Medusa and Timbersaw still chasing him. Pig Stick comes out. Medusa still chasing this Darkseer. This will be a dead Darkseer.
You know, the Culling Blade on the
Medusa starting to get pretty tanky and being able to chase.
I didn't even know you could Culling Blade on the courier. That's new information for me. Yep. Something I'm gonna have to keep in mind.
Quick blow up. That Axe getting locked down by that Medusa ult mid dunk on mid. That was a good sight to see.
Definitely want a screenshot of that one. And coming back from a 20k gold deficit, Team Welfare looks like they may be able to turn the tides if they can hold this high ground just another 10-15 minutes.
And they found their stride with this standing on the Tinker. Brooks doing a lot of work, and although he's not pushing a ton of lanes, he does pick up that bottom T1 and looks to do more. He's running around the map farming as much as possible, and Spectre going back for a little bit more farm. She's not feeling so good anymore. She does pick up that vitality boost. It's going to be put in most likely into a heart, and it's kind of what she needs. She needs to tank up. She's being bursted really quick from that Dagon from Tinker. Great pickup on him.
Yeah, and this looks like he's going to be securing the level 5 Dagon here. I believe he has... Oh, he could be saving for a buyback as well. He's only got a 633 gold surplus, so may need a little bit more farm before he completes that and moves on to his next item. We're going to see a Roshan coming out from the Dire.
Behind, just taking all the hits. He's looking pretty tanky.
And this isn't the best Roshan lineup.
It will take a little bit, but I mean, Spectre's got a ton. She throws down that poor man's shield for a little bit, and they'll be able to pick it up. Look, as we look around their map, Tinker's still having to push on bottom. We got 2 in base, we got 2 pushing top. They're not suspecting the Roshan ball.
No, and I think this is really what they do need to break the high ground. Put this on the Axe, you put it on the Spectre.
They're going to throw it on here.
I'd throw it on the Axe personally, but Spectre's probably going to take it.
Yeah, Spectre's still doing quite a bit of output damage.
Yeah, see, personally, I think...
I also agree. I think...
yeah, you definitely want to put it on the Axe because the Spectre's supposed to be dying in the team fight, buying back, using the Haunt, and coming back in. Just doing tons of damage. By the time the Spectre dies the second time...
this Axe is doing... This Axe is doing a ton of work, being able to jump in and... he's eating all the damage anyway. It'd be nice to see him come back and start dunking again, but I mean, Corndog's still doing what they need to. They're still leading 31-20, still leading in towers. T1 does fall down finally on top, and I mean, Welfare scraping their way back. They're coming back from this huge deficit. As we take a look at the gold graph, sitting only on a 10k lead on the side of Corndog on what was a 20k lead. Slowly scraping back. This could be in for a long game.
And we're seeing the second attempt at the push here, the third attempt. And Tinker just going to sit back.
Wall coming out, Cliff also coming out.
And they need to get back. This is going to be a wasted tombstone if they don't have it fast.
Axe does blink in on a huge Spectre jumping in as well, going all over here.
Oh, the Medusa ult coming out.
Does actually fall down to the Dazzle. Echo Slam coming out, but doesn't whiffs on everybody. Spectre sitting quite low. Aegis will fall to that Tinker on the Dagon. They do finally take this T3 on this push, and they are still all up. 5 against 3 heroes. Medusa running low on mana, not being able to tank up any of this. Axe is just going to chase her down along with this Darkseer. Being stopped down from this Earthshaker will actually turn on this Axe. This will be a kill for this Earthshaker if he... Tinker does come out and steal the kill with the Dagon, but that is a set of racks for the side of Corndog.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Yeah, absolutely not the engagement they were looking for. That Echo Slam just not quite coming out how they wanted. Medusa being caught in that initial Berserker's Call. I think that she wanted to get that ult off a little bit early, and then we saw the Tinker actually using his spells on stone targets that are immune to magic. A little bit of a misplay there.
Yeah, really the Earthshaker just kind of whiffed on the Echo Slam there, couldn't jump in from the side of that Radiance on Spectre, and it kind of cost them there. They only pulled out that axe and ended up having to come back and losing Rax mid, and it's going to be hard for them to come back on this. They did scrape their way back from the first one, but lost a lot there on the side of Team Welfare. Corndog looking pretty good, just losing that Aegis and an axe. Fair trade on their side. Tinker doing a little bit of work, trying to push everything back out. Gonna get quite a bit of damage on this T2 on bottom, so you know Tinker's still scraping his way back.
Could be going for this.
So what is she picking up here?
Sheep stick on the Tinker. Quite a good pickup if she can get those rearms out. Get a whole bunch of people disabled.
That's what they need. They really need to shut down this Axe real quick, and as well as the Spectre doing a lot of damage. If they can take out them, they're doing a lot of work to this Undying. Undying's actually not lasting that long. He's just being able to heal up from these quick hero kills from the dunks from Axe and Spectre. Dazzle doing a ton of work, just being able to keep them alive with that mech as well as that Shadow Grave.
Still sitting on this level 4 Dagon. Now, is there a reason not to complete it at this point?
I don't see why not. I mean, the extra damage, extra 100 damage is still huge. Spectre only picking up Recipe on the Heart of Torash. She doesn't actually have a Reaver, but she is damn close. She's sitting on 29, almost 3k, so this Heart will come out. A little bit of extra burst is always great on the Tinker, but I think he's decided that Scythe of Ice might be a better pickup to get. Just turn her into a pig and be able to blow her up a little bit quicker. Farm him in that 1250 for that extra Dagon charge. It's not that hard for this Tinker. He's going to be able to run around the map and get that real quick, so I think picking out Scythe of Ice this time is probably a better idea, actually.
Absolutely, and we have the Manta Style up on the Medusa. It looks like she's going to be closing in on that Scotty fairly soon, actually. Enough for that second ultimate orb, and another 500-600 unless she's saving for buyback, and she'll be able to complete this thing.
I think that's pushing needs right now, in combination with that Stone Gaze, and if they get out a better team fight, and less, unlike the last one that they did, if they can key on whatever they, having that Medusa ult go on that Axe, as well as that Undying, maybe even the Dazzle in the back, and kind of let Tinker focus down the Spectre. He's got the most burst damage going on right now. Let Tinker do the work against the Spectre. Earthshaker kind of sit in the back, jump in when you need to, get that full Echo Slam off. They can definitely take them like they did in engagements before. If they don't get the right team fight off, this could be another Rax for Corndog, and it's going to be pretty hard to come back from even for a good farm Tinker.
Looks like they're going to be pushing into this top lane. And the Undying Tombstone going to be falling, but Fissure going to actually block the entire Dire team from getting in. I think this is good for Team Corndog because they just need to recharge that Tombstone.
Weave actually coming out on the side of the Dazzle. They're wanting to tank up. Tons of armor coming out on the side of this Axe, sitting at 9 plus 41 armor. My goodness. And that's huge against this Medusa. Huge pickup for this Dazzle. And I think they're just going to stay here. Actually being engaged on this the Spectre mid, Timbersaw running around. He does pick up the Chivas Guard. Spectre being able to jump out real quick for the Spectre Dagger though. We're throwing out every buff in the world to this whole team, trying to just push them off. Tinker throwing out every March of the Machine as well. And it's going to be a hard engagement, even though they did take down that T1 Rax, or sorry, that mid Rax, rather. It's still going to be a hard push. Dazzle does toss out the Grave again, and looking to push here.
And we do see Earthshaker sitting way off to the side. He's not going to be making the same mistake twice. He is going to try as hard as he can to get that Echo Slam off. That is the key indicator of how this fight is going to go for Team Welfare.
Spectre still picking up his ult. He does toss it off right now. This should be the engagement they're looking for. Tombstone going out, blocking by that Earthshaker, sitting in the trees here, and they're just going to narrowly escape out. They do pick up that Earthshaker on the side. Axe taking them down. Earthshaker buying back. This could be a lost Rax. They need to jump in here quick with the Spectre all being down. Tinker blowing up as much as possible with the heat-seeking missiles, and he's just going to keep feeding them out. Dazzle throwing out his ult, buffing everybody up again. Earthshaker jumping in, looking for that Echo Slam. Does get it off. Not a ton of damage out, though. Wall being thrown up. Just a huge mess of heroes running around. Shiva's Guard being blown by this Timbersaw. Axe being able to dunk whoever he needs to. Grave going out as well. They're chasing after them. And this is just a gone team fight. Ogre just narrowly escaping with his life. Same with Medusa. They're chasing after him. As top 2-3 goes down, this is going to be another Rax, and this is looking like game.
Oh, but Earthshaker jumping in, getting a nice stun off.
Gets one on there. Earthshaker taking down this Undying. This will be a dead Spectre, but he can chase it up. Dazzle looking low as well. Burns down to that Ogre charge. Tinker still chasing on this Spectre. You need to kill her, you need to go after her.
He just doesn't have enough mana to do anything
out.
else.
And she narrowly escapes out with her life. Sitting on 2,500 gold. That's another Rax down. They do keep the melee Rax on top, but this is going to be hard for Tinker to actually push back and be able to take towers. Medusa staying alive in that whole engagement. She will pick up Scotty now. That's a huge pickup.
And it looks like Tinker going to
I just don't see them coming back from this.
Yeah, Tinker closing in on that sheep stick very quickly. He has enough and even to keep the buyback. And yeah, as you said, that Scotty coming out on the Medusa. I'm not sure, you know, if there's anyone who can survive this kind of a game, it's a Medusa and a Tinker.
And you're right. Tinker can't push. Medusa can survive, but having 2 Rax down, melee sitting there recharging up, but that's
to be fair,
huge engagement.
Well, like 1 1/4 Rax, I'd say.
Okay, I'll give it to you, but this Spectre just being able to tank everything up, still escaping with no life left, and Tinker just had nothing left to give her. And taking that range Rax, and they escape out, pretty much barely any deaths going on the side of Corndog, and buybacks coming out on welfare on that Earthshaker. Just didn't do a lot of damage coming out on the side of that Echo Slab too. He got it off on, I believe, 4 and didn't do a ton.
Absolutely, and this is again the issue that we see when you pick up Medusa and then have an entire team full of people who tend to do magical damage. It's just not enough synergy. I saw once those heroes got frozen, there was no physical damage to follow it up. Medusa doesn't have that damage yet.
Timbersaw, like I said, did pick up that Shiver's Guard. It didn't do a ton of work inside of that teamfight for them, but I mean, even with plus 22 and 5, still being blown up by this axe, just getting dunked on.
Absolutely, and he is just sitting on 2 Bloodstone charges now, just the saddest of all Tinkers.
Earthshaker looking to pick up that Aghanim Scepter, wanting a little bit more output on his ult, and I feel like that's the only pickup he can go for at this point. They don't really need Eggs. There's not a lot of magic damage coming out on the side of Corndog. They're physical and
I don't know. I
zombies
think
running around.
You know, you don't get that much damage added with the eggs on Earthshaker. I feel like the Force Staff against this axe would just be so much better of a pickup.
Shadow Wave!
It's give and take. I mean, the Force Staff is great and all, but they don't have any damage response right now. Medusa finally does pick up that Scotty, true, but actually there's an engagement here. This Undying being blown up real quick. Shallow Grave does go off. Axe jumps on a couple. Earthshaker goes down rather quick. Medusa gets off the Manta Style, throws at her ult. She's just whacking all 3 heroes, but not doing a ton of damage, and they're just starting to turn on her. Timbersaw trying to keep her alive as much as possible. Medusa still going down, and Timber can't get out, going down as well. That's 3 for 1 Undying.
Oh.
And yeah, this is going to be melee Rax.
I don't know if you saw that, but when the axe pop is called there, he has plus 90. He has over 100 armor.
Dominating. Triple kill.
Buybacks coming out on welfare, but I don't think it's going to be
over.
enough.
This Rax is going down.
Well, the axe will fall to the ogre.
Really quickly bursting down. We're going to have to turn on the Spectre real quick. She does have enough for buyback.
Could they pick up a return
Stick
kill,
going
though?
out. Oh, they just can't kill her. She is just too damn tanky. Shallow Grave's out. Spectral Dagger coming out. She's just running around the map as much as she wants. That's 2 Racks going down. They're actually trying to clear this out. Undying, pinging, saying, let's go through, take this spot on Racks, finish the game. That'll be a 2 sweep. Tinker jumping in, gets a Wicked 6 kill on this Dazzle.
Oh, and it looks like they're going to be pursuing
They
the
are
Spectre a
turning
little
back
bit
on the
further,
Spectre.
too.
Tinker
coming
does have
out.
a bunch more mana. Oh, the
The
multicast
multicast.
coming out, using everything. Echo Slam goes out. They finally do kill this Spectre. Medusa chasing after this Darkseer. Tinker coming back, more Dagon, more stuns. They're doing everything to this Darkseer. Finally going down after chasing him for so long, and they just look to push down mid.
What other choice do they have at this point? That was quite a gold swing in their favor, but they are now down 2 Racks, pushing against what is looking to be mega creeps at this rate. My goodness.
I mean, they have 4 down. Still have buyback on 3, though, on the side of Corndog. Only Darkseer having to sit back and wait for another minute. They will get this T1 rather quick, probably, and could be a T2 as well. Spectre probably wanting to hang on to that buyback for another situation. They do come back here, and a little bit of gold swing. Comes back to just over 15k, but... And we do see a pause coming out. Sorry from the Axe, and we're just going to have to chill and stand by. Quite a game going on right here. A lot of back and forth. We see the two racks going down on the side of Welfare, but they are still scraping by, managing to come back with a couple team fights, a couple pickoffs on the Spectre, and what do you think is going to happen in this team? Are they going to be able to push down and pick up a rack and turn around this game, or is it looking pretty grave for the side of Welfare?
It is looking pretty grim. I mean, the Medusa is someone who can push very well when she has a little bit more damage. If she could pick up a Daedalus really quickly, she might be able to stand a chance, but just her ultimate coming out, she's attacking everybody, but doing almost no damage to this Spectre and this Axe. The Dazzle being just seemingly a perfect pickup against her. That weave is just doing work, I am telling you. The heroes are the unsung supports of this game.
How much armor did you say you saw Axe with her?
He was sitting at 10 base and then had plus 91. He was sitting at about 80, somewhere between 80 and 90% damage reduction. So Medusa is literally doing 20 damage per hit to him. 30 if he's stone.
Yeah, not a great engagement there. Having that Axe super buffed up, being able to just walk in and take every hit. That's where I see the Earthshaker coming in. If he can pick up Ags, he's sitting on 1,500 gold here. Getting pretty close. Just need another 500. He can't buy back. His buyback's down for quite a while. So I think if he can just pick up this Ags and kind of hold off for another minute, they might be able to get a fair engagement. But I don't know if they should engage and sit in their base. I think they kind of have to get out there and start pushing towers. If they sit in this base, they're just going to get attacked from either side, top and mid, and
yep. And even if they
defend that bottom racks,
yeah, even if they win the fights at that bottom racks, it will slowly fall. Now we do see the Tinker having picked up his Sheepstick and an Ethereal Blade. He is almost 6-slotted at this point and going to be able to do quite a bit of burst damage to whoever he chooses to focus his sights on. Likely the Spectre in this case.
And that's exactly what Tinker needs to pick up, but sure, it could be too little too late. Having one racks down is one thing. Having two racks down, and
that's a lot.
It's going to be really hard for Tinker to be able to rotate around the map. He's starting to build in more of just a kind of team fight engagement against the Spectre, as well as his Axe, and not going to be able to push a ton. So we'll see how it comes. Still paused here for quite a while. Looks like his internet pooped out, so I'm just going to chill by and enjoy the game. And I think his mom called him for dinner, apparently.
Absolutely.
Quite a series so far, Flo. Quite a series.
Absolutely. Just a lot of back and forth, especially in the second game. We saw a little bit of a stomp fest in the first one, but Team Welfare just fighting tooth and nail to stay in here. I think the Stinker's going to be going for a Bloodstone soon, and we're going to see possibly some more damage come out on the Medusa. I hope she's not going for a heart. Good God. But I don't know, it's just, I think that the Tinker should be staying back defending, and the Timber should be pushing mid with them. They need all the help they can get if they want to take down this tier 1, or at least get a little bit of damage on the tier 2. Probably not going to happen with the Axe coming back
Timber's
within 4
tanky
seconds.
enough. Timber's tanky enough. He can kind of just run against these super creeps and kind of take all the hits, get his reactive armor up, and help the push out. Medusa's, like you said, is going to have to pick up this Daedalus. She can pick up Chrysalis right now to get a little bit of extra crit damage. I don't know if it's going to be enough for her.
Not yet, no. She's still so far from coming online, sitting a good 7,000 net worth behind this Spectre. That's a good 2 core items. Spectre likely going to be selling his phase boots for boots of travel soon, and I don't know what he's going to pick up for 5th item. I could see an Abyssal Blade coming out, honestly. Just too much to deal with.
It could be a bad pickup.
Yeah, they are approaching the end of their grace period in terms of pauses. It will be legal for them to unpause here.
Okay, we're unpaused. Go, go, go! Kill, 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 kill!
Is it a 5-minute limit?
But, stay by and cast, I think.
Now, I'm just going to not be able to hear you for a second here. I'm just going to be checking the AD2L rules.
more out, try and take that T2. I don't know if he's going to be able to get a lot of the job done.
This might end up being a grace win for Team Welfare without that Spectre. I'm thinking maybe the Undying is going to have to micro his character because he is such a high impact hero, and if they lose that, they're not going to have much left to go on.
Axe going down on the bottom here. He's sitting pretty good. I mean, picking up that Boots of Travel now, looking to just kind of go for the end game finish here. Still got the Assault Curse and the Ags. Looking like a pretty healthy Axe to me. Actually, Roche is going down to the side of Medusa and Ogre here. Good little combo. They're both running pretty low on mana, and Ogre just taking the full right clicks of this big Roshan. And they actually get Fortress back out. Roche is looking a little too tanky right now.
And no one has wards on either side, but I think if that Axe suspected something, he'd be able to easily go in there and finish them both off. We've seen one Roche so far pick up on that Spectre, but no one else seems really inclined to touch it.
And I think that if Corndog did pick up that Aegis on Spectre again, that's pretty much game over. Even on that Axe, like we were talking about before, either or. Having a little extra damage when her Aegis comes back up. That's how they took mid-Rax. I think that's how they could take it again, and Medusa suspected that and wants to go back in, Mr. Sinister, but sitting on 4K gold here, and kind of just wants to play it safe and see how long they can take this one.
Looks like the Spectre
does
will be
finally pick up that
reconnecting.
Aghanim Scepter.
And we have 5-man Dodo again.
Online handshaking and no aggressive words said, and we continue in this 52-minute match, and a little bit of a struggle for Team Welfare, and Corndog just looking to take it to sweep, but they're having a little bit of trouble taking this extra racks, and see how far that Team Welfare can take this one.
Yeah, I think the timer
Out
is
of the
definitely
stream,
ticking.
thanks again everybody for joining in here and going through this lengthy match. We appreciate all the feedback you guys want to give us, or just hanging about the stream. Thanks again, and we're almost hitting 100 viewers tonight, which is nice to see.
Death tax.
Bungus the Fungus coming up on bottom lane. Man, I just love saying that name.
That is one of the best names I've seen in a while.
Illusion.
And Spectre does actually go in against this Barrage here. They're going to look to take it. That's exactly what they need. Spectre does pick up that Diffusal as well.
There is no way that Team Welfare can contest this. They don't even know what's going on. It's probably going to be a complete surprise. All they can do is sit back and try to push out those 2 lanes that they lost the racks in. Sad day for Dota.
Spectre just farming the camps with these illusions. Yeah, this is going to be a free Aegis. They're actually smoking up. I think they might suspect it. They're going back down in. It's a little too late. Spectre does pick up the Aegis. Medusa starting to back off, goes back into the jungle.
Oh, I'm surprised they didn't want to try and move in on that.
Not get caught out in the river. They got a little too much jump on the side of Axe, and a good tombstone up on the cliff, they wouldn't be able to destroy it. It's pretty hard for them to come back from that one.
Yeah, it is a little too hard, but the element of surprise, you know, they've got to start making some risky plays. If they just sit back and let Team Corndog just push into their bottom racks, they're eventually going to lose it and be fighting against Megas.
I think we're finally picking up the Dagon 5, a little bit extra burst damage.
And we've got the Demon Edge coming out on Medusa. I think this is going to be a Daedalus, or possibly an MKB, though there's no Butterfly to use it against.
The mini bashes are always good help, but yeah, I think the Daedalus coming out would be a smarter choice. She does need that extra damage and a little bit of crit.
It does scale a little bit better into the late game with more late game items.
Pretty close to level 25. Tinker's still sitting on the top of the net worth here. 2k gold against this Spectre. Spectre sitting pretty healthy though. 6 slotted with this Aegis, and they look to take this bottom. They're all grouping up except for this Axe. Taking a little bit of extra farm, but he looks to join up. Does pick up that Reaver. He's sitting pretty tanky as well.
And Earthshaker's just going to block
Axe.
off the bottom lane. I love this.
Dazzle throws down the weave there, getting ulted and ready to go. Axe does get whiffed on the ultimate, does get the extra armor. Iron Shield does go out. We're looking for this Tombstone, getting ready to pop. There it goes. And they start jumping in. Spectre looking to throw off some illusions. She's just going hard in this tower. They want to take the disc quick. Axe does jump in on 2. Ult does finally come out. Shiva's Guard going off. Earthshaker gets an ult, only off on 2. Tinker starting to try and blow up this Darks here, but he is completely surrounded by this Medusa ult. E-Blade going out, not even doing a ton of damage. Medusa running low on mana, she's got nothing left, stunned out, and they look to just run back, only losing the dying, looking for this T3, and that's going to be another Axe and probably game.
Last-ditch effort by Timbersaw to try and turn this around, but he gets dunked by the Axe, and we see E-Blade Dagon coming out. Not quite enough damage to take her out.
Timbersaw coming back in. This could be a kill on the Dazzle as well as the Axe. Axe calling, narrowly escaping out. Dazzle finally going down. They are just too damn tanky. Spectre coming out full blast here, just nailing on these racks. Turning on this Medusa with that Diffuser Blade. This is going to be a dead Medusa real quick here.
I don't think so. Tinker's going to come along and say,
escaping,
nope.
turned into a pig. E-Blade does come out. No, say goodnight. Axe jumping in, dunking him down,
whips the
and
E-Blade
looking to
on
go
the
after
Timber.
this Tinker. Misses the call, but this is going to be a dead Tinker anyway. Spectre still surviving with only 200 left in her life. Medusa does buy back, tossing out as much as possible. Still surviving through this. Timbersaw doing whatever he can, trying to kill this Axe. Spectre does buy back here, about ready to TP in. Howard is he not dead? Actually gets two. Timbersaw picking up a triple kill.
This could be dangerous for the Spectre, not...
Spectre's buying backs, and good game goes out.
It looks like the creep's finished without us even watching. What an incredible game. Lots of back and forth. Very intense. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Whew. Well, that was quite the series. Last game went pretty lengthy there, just under an hour, and
Well, there you
with
have
that
it.
Spectre coming out pretty damn farmed, looking pretty good. 6 slotted when she picked up the talisman, and even with the side of Tinker throwing out everything he possibly had, just couldn't damn kill her, and finally she buys back, finishes the game off, and that's all she wrote on the side of Team Welfare being booted out of the playoffs, putting up quite a struggle for them in Game 2, but Corndog does come out on top and sweeps them 2-0 on the NA playoffs at the AD2L.
Well, I think that's about it, everybody. We're going to try and join next week, pick up another couple matches to cast, and hope to see you there.
Thanks everybody on the stream for watching tonight. Good to have everybody out, and thank you again, Flo, for setting up all the stuff while I was out of town currently. And
I am
thanks
learning
for
tech things.
having yourself in the cast again.
Yeah, absolutely. You too, buddy. All right. I'll see you folks next week.
Have a good night.